Before starting work, it is important to configure the machine according to the type of gas that will be used. Once this is done, connect the hoses with the quick connectors and prepare the equipment for startup. The side ports for hose flushing must be used in cases where gas charging operations require a type of oil that is not compatible with the one present in the machine. In these situations, it is essential to carry out a preliminary flushing of the hoses in order to avoid contamination between different types of oil. Likewise, the corresponding oil must be added manually and separately. The next step is to unlock the lower scale. It's recommended to keep the screw, as it can be reused if the scale needs to be secured again for transport. Then prepare the new oil bottle by filling it with oil and leak detector, and check that the valves of the internal gas cylinder are open. Before continuing with the procedure, it is worth reviewing the configuration section. Here, only if necessary, we can calibrate the weight using a 1 kilogram reference. Configure the measurement units, language, access the service menu to activate different components for diagnostic purposes. Set the default weights of empty tanks and adjust the information that will be printed on the operation ticket. It is also possible to configure the date and time, as well as consult the operation log of the machine. Once the machine is ready, proceed to charge the refrigerant. To do this, connect the adapter to the supply cylinder, attach the hose, open both the connector valve and the cylinder valve, and invert the bottle. From the refill menu, select the amount of gas to be introduced into the machine, with a minimum of 2 kilograms. Once this amount has entered the internal tank, the machine will indicate that the valves should be closed to complete the transfer of the remaining refrigerant. When working on the vehicle, the system allows selecting the model directly from the database or entering the data manually. This information will also be reflected on the ticket, facilitating the record of each intervention. When recovery begins, the machine extracts the refrigerant present in the vehicle's circuit. Once the process is complete, it automatically performs a 3-minute check to ensure no gas remains in the system. If it detects a pressure increase, it will repeat the recovery automatically. Afterwards, it drains the oil recovered from the air conditioning circuit and offers the option to print the operation ticket. Next comes the vacuum and leak test phase. In this stage, both the vacuum time and leak test duration are configured. As a general recommendation, at least 15 minutes should be set for each. If the machine does not detect a significant pressure increase during the test, it is considered successful. Meanwhile, the equipment displays the internal pressure values on screen. In the case of electric vehicles, the procedure includes an important difference. The machine can perform a hose cleaning process to avoid oil contamination. In these vehicles, non-conductive oil must be introduced manually into the circuit, so the oil injection amount from the machine should be set to 0, provided the oil used in the machine is not compatible with this type of vehicle. If working in manual mode, the oil quantity must be set before injection, and the air conditioning circuit must be under vacuum. Then choose how to perform the charge. High-pressure charging is the most common method. Low-pressure charging is intended for systems that already contain refrigerant and only require a small top-up. The combined high and low-pressure function should only be used for leak diagnostics and with no more than half of the system's refrigerant capacity. In the final charging phase, it is important to note that the vehicle's compressor participates in the process. After closing the high-pressure port and confirming the operation, the machine injects the remaining refrigerant through the low-pressure port, completing the charge correctly. If automatic mode is selected, the machine performs all operations sequentially, greatly simplifying the process. In this mode, oil injection can also be carried out automatically, which is recommended, as the machine calculates the amount based on the recovered oil and adds a small additional margin. Once the operation is finished, simply disconnect and open the quick connectors, close the valves, and remove the hoses. The process is then complete and the system is ready for its next use. Finally, non-condensable gases must be purged periodically to maintain proper internal pressure and ensure correct operation of the equipment.